Hi, I'm Yvonne and I'm Wild for Wild Tree. So today I'm going to show you something that really helps me out as far as saving time during the week when I'm making dinner. And that means taking a few minutes today to prep 3 or 4 meals that I know I'm going to be making this week. Kind of like meal planning, but more like meal prepping. So I have my little cheat sheet here of all of the ingredients that I need for the 4 meals that I'm going to make. This week I actually have a potluck on Friday that I need to go to, so I'm adding an additional meal for that potluck. The 3 family meals that we're making are chicken marsala, balsamic chicken drumsticks, and orange fusion chicken. And then the potluck meal is going to be Chinese crock pot. It's so good. You're going to be excited. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is grab my freezer bag, and I'm going to take a Sharpie and write on the bag what the name of the meal is. First thing I'm going to make is chicken marsala. So I'm just going to open the bag. In order to keep it open a little, I just flip the top of it over. And then I'm going to place 4 chicken breasts. We buy our chicken breast and milk in the freezer section just because it's easy for me to have chicken on hand, and a lot of times I really prefer thawing it out with the marinade and the spices and seasonings in it. So the first thing I'm going to add is Wild Tree's Marsala sauce, and I need a 1/2 cup of the Wild Tree Marsala sauce. I'm literally just going to pour that directly into and over the chicken. And then I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of the butter grapeseed oil. And this is an oil that is infused with butter flavor. It is non-dairy. They actually get the flavor of butter in there with the vapors of coconut. I have no idea how they do it, but it's an amazing result. If you haven't tried it, you should really check it out. And then because my family does like mushrooms, I'm just going to take some sliced mushrooms and I'm going to go ahead and pour those directly in as well. Now what that's going to do is just marinate the chicken and the vegetables all together. Since I'm probably not making this until the end of the week, I'm just going to mix that together, and I'm going to stick this one back in the freezer. For now, I'm just going to put it in the sink so that I can move on to our next recipe, which is going to be orange fusion chicken. This originally was a recipe for salmon. However, I did not have time to run to the store today and pick up 4 salmon steaks. So I'm just going to go ahead and make it with chicken. It's going to be just as wonderful as it would be with salmon, but since I don't have time, I'm using what I have on hand. Again, just going to stick 4 chicken breasts in the freezer bag that I have already labeled with orange fusion salmon. And this time I'm going to use our Pacific Fusion blend, just a tablespoon of that. And what Pacific Fusion is it's like a kicked up teriyaki or soy sauce. Has a little bit of a kick to it, some spice. It's a great addition to other marinades, or you can also use it by itself as or you can just use it by itself as a stir fry. So in addition to that tablespoon of Pacific Fusion, I'm also going to put in a 1/2 cup of orange juice. And that's really all that goes into that meal. So wonderful. Part of the philosophy of the freezer meals, prepping ahead and putting things in the freezer, is that when you pull this meat out and have it thaw in the refrigerator overnight, this marinade is going to get completely through the meat. It's going to make it more flavorful and more tender. So our next meal that I'm going to make is balsamic chicken, and I've already prepped a pound of chicken wings and chicken drumettes. So I'm just going to write very carefully balsamic chicken on this bag since I already have the meat in it. It takes a little more talent, but not bad. And this one is more complicated than the other two because we actually have 4 ingredients to add. The first thing that I'm going to add is brown sugar. And don't forget that when you are adding brown sugar to a recipe, you do need to pack the brown sugar. Most recipes tell you the amount based on you packing the brown sugar. Then I'm going to need a ½ cup of soy sauce. A 1/3 of a cup of honey, which is going to take a little while. And lastly, I'm going to add a 1/3 of a cup of the balsamic dipping oil, which is a grapeseed oil based dipping oil. Dipping oils mean that the spices and the seasonings are already in the bottle. So I'm just going to shake this up to make sure that the seasonings do come to the top as well. And I'm going to use a 1/3 cup of this as well. This one is really great as is. If you want a little more kick or a little more spice, just add a little Tabasco or any type of hot sauce as well to that. Now with any of these meals, you can serve them over rice, you can serve them over noodles. I always serve mine with a side of vegetables. For example, with the Pacific Fusion chicken, I'm probably going to have that with some baby carrots, which I'm going to steam, and then I'm going to drizzle a little butter grapeseed oil over it, and about a tablespoon or 2 of honey to just melt on top of those. That's going to go really well with the sweet of the Honey Fusion chicken. Since the chicken marsala already has mushrooms in it, I do have a vegetable there, but I'll still probably serve it with a side salad and maybe garlic bread or some sort of cheese bread. And then here with the chicken drumettes, since it is a sweet, it's also going to pair well with a salad, probably some broccoli. We love broccoli around here. The last meal I am going to show you in more detail. It does have more ingredients, so check out my chicken crock pot video, and I'll see you then. I hope you're wild for Wild Tree too.